Take a look at the second page. If x equals 3 and y equals -6, the value of 1/2 x y to the third is. So this is a question where we're substituting. And we have to substitute 3 for x and -6 for y. Common error here is going to be not being careful with our parentheses. So I rewrite it 1/2, parentheses for the x, parentheses for the y, and that 3 has to go on the outside. Now my x goes in here, my y goes in here. And when I substitute those numbers in, type the entire thing into your graphing calculator, 1/2 times 3. Make sure you're using and closing those parentheses, being careful of negative versus subtraction so you don't get an error. And we get -324. If we had put that 3 on the inside, for this question it might not have impacted our answer, but in other questions it might. So you have to be careful that this 3 goes on the outside. All right, number 5. Which expression represents 5 parentheses 6 minus x? So we have 5 times x minus 6. This has no words that indicate that we have parentheses. So this is 5 times x minus 6 is what choice A would look like. Choice B says 5 times 6 minus x. The next two have that phrase, the quantity. Now that's the phrase that tells me I'm going to have something in parentheses. So the first one is 5 times the quantity of x less than 6. Now less than is a turnaround word, which means we're going to have minus x. And it's x less than 6 is what we're taking it away from. And that is our answer, so it's C. But let's just look at what this last one says. 5 times the quantity means I have parentheses of 6 less than x. So 6 less than, it's a turnaround word, x. And that's what that choice would look like, and that's not what we have. Number 6, simplify the expression. So for this question, the very first thing I need to do is my distributive property. Where we have to be careful is in this second piece of the distributive property. -3 times -1 gives me a positive 3. That's the term to watch out for. And now we combine like terms. So first we distributed. And now we are going to combine like terms. And that's where we want to get those x's together. 5x minus 3x is 2x plus 3. We go to our choices, and that is choice B. Number 7. We looked at this one in class, but we didn't solve it. We actually substituted the choices. So now I'm actually going to solve it. So the first step is to move the constant away from the x, and that's this 2. We need to get out of here. And when we do that, we're left with 3/2 x equals 9. Now we have to get rid of the 3/2. That's a fraction. Go to your notes. Look for the foldable that talks about solving equations. The last tab says fractions. And a rule says we multiply by the reciprocal. So what I'm using right here is multiplying by the reciprocal to get that x by itself. When we do that, these are gone, leaving me with just x equals, and then type that entire right-hand side into the calculator, and I get 6.